Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for another premium deep dive sharing session. If you've been feeling lately like you're constantly running on a treadmill, working incredibly hard, but somehow success always feels just slightly out of reach, well, you are in the absolutely right place today. I am thrilled to be your guide as we unpack a framework that's going to completely change how you operate. Welcome to Empower Fantastic Life. Find your power, live without limits. Here is our structured roadmap for today. We're going to start with part 1, the core paradigm shift. Then we'll hit part 2, the 5 magnetic attitudes. After that, part 3, the daily attitude workout, and we'll wrap things up with part 4, the catalyst question. All right, part 1, the core paradigm shift, chasing versus attracting. Okay, let's dive into this. The entire foundation of what we're talking about today rests on one fundamental truth. Success is not something you frantically chase. Think about it. When you chase something, by definition, it's running away from you. Instead, true, lasting success is something you attract from the inside out. You don't actually need to manipulate external circumstances. You just need to cultivate an internal environment that makes success inevitably gravitate right toward you. Now, check out this staggering number right here, 90%. There is a famous, really timeless formula in personal development which states that life is only 10% what happens to you and a massive 90% how you react to it. Just think about that for a second. We spend so much of our energy agonizing over that 10%, the economy, what our boss said, bad luck, all those things that are completely outside of our control. But this 90%? This is your reaction. This is the ultimate locus of personal control. At the end of the day, your attitude is your greatest asset. To truly grasp this 90%, we have to understand that your attitude actually functions in 2 totally distinct ways. First, it acts as a really powerful magnet. A highly positive, grounded attitude literally draws the right circumstances, the right opportunities, and top-tier talent straight into your orbit. Second, your attitude is a filter. It's the lens through which you view reality. Simply put, where a pessimistic filter sees a frustrating dead end, a magnetic attitude filters that exact same situation and sees a brilliant turning point. Moving right along to section 2, the 5 magnetic attitudes, rebuilding your internal foundation. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we need to focus on. Now that we understand the power of our internal magnet, how do we actually build the thing? Well, these next concepts aren't just fluffy philosophical ideas. They are practical, everyday tools designed to systematically rewire your mindset. Here is the exact blueprint we are going to use. We've got 5 core slices to this internal foundation: vision, responsibility, resilience, gratitude, and service. By upgrading these 5 specific areas of your life, you're effectively turning up the voltage on your success magnet. Let's break them down one by one, using scenarios we can all relate to. First up, we have vision. Having vision means you possess a crystal clear blueprint of your future, and that blueprint is what gives profound meaning to the hardships you might be facing today. Think of vision exactly like using Google Maps on your phone. When you type in your ultimate destination, you know exactly where you are going. So if you hit an unexpected traffic jam or a closed road along the way, what happens? The app doesn't just shut down and tell you to go home. It simply says recalculating. When you have true vision in life, a temporary roadblock just triggers a recalculation. It is never the end of the journey. The second magnetic attitude is responsibility. This one is huge. This means taking 100% ownership of your life's outcomes and entirely, completely rejecting the victim mentality. You simply cannot attract success if you're constantly complaining about your upbringing, the economy, or your boss. Think of it like a car journey. The victim mentality is like sitting in the passenger seat, helplessly whining about the bumpy road and the bad driving. Responsibility means you unbuckle your seatbelt, step out, walk around, and get behind the steering wheel. You become the driver. You control the route, the speed, and the destination. Our third core pillar is resilience. This is your ability to bounce back and to do it quickly. Highly resilient people don't look at failure as the opposite of success. They actually see it as the required tuition fee for success. The absolute best analogy here is building muscle at the gym. When you lift heavy weights, you're actually causing micro tears in your muscle fibers. It's that physical resistance that forces the muscle to grow back stronger. Failure is exactly the same thing. It is the necessary mental resistance required for your personal growth. No resistance, no growth. The fourth attitude is gratitude. This is all about shifting your focus away from a continuous cycle of lack, always obsessing over what you don't have, and stepping into a really powerful cycle of abundance. Imagine your mindset is like a financial compound interest account. Every single time you complain, you're making a daily withdrawal that slowly bankrupts your energy and pushes people away. But true gratitude, those are daily intentional deposits. Over time, those deposits multiply your emotional wealth and make you incredibly magnetic to everyone around you. And the fifth slice of our foundation is service. This is the mindset of focusing intensely on creating value for others, rather than obsessing over extracting personal gain. It perfectly mirrors the modern business concept that helping others win is simply the best way to win yourself. Think of a master gardener. A true master gardener doesn't stand there and yell at the plants to bear fruit immediately. Instead, they focus entirely on cultivating the soil, watering the roots, and providing sunlight for the whole garden. When you focus on serving the environment around you, you naturally get to enjoy the most abundant harvest. Let's jump into Section 3, the Daily Attitude Workout, Actionable Steps for Mindset Rewiring. Let's move to and see how this builds into real life. As a senior consultant, I always tell my clients, theory is great, but execution is everything. Knowing about a gym doesn't make you fit. You actually have to do the workout. So let's step into our mental gym and look at the 3 concrete, actionable steps required to forge these magnetic attitudes into unbreakable, automatic habits. Step 1, monitor your self-talk. Step 2, curate your circle. And step 3, practice intentionality. So the most crucial point here is how you speak to yourself when nobody else is listening. You have to aggressively monitor your self-talk. Notice the stark contrast between these old and new thoughts. On the left side, we have the old negative thoughts. That classic victim narrative, like telling yourself, I'm just unlucky or I can't do this. Every single time you say that, you are literally programming your brain's filter to look for failure. You must actively swap these out for the new empowered thoughts on the right. Instead of I'm unlucky, you tell yourself, this is a profound learning opportunity. This simple, daily word swap instantly rewires your brain's filter to start seeking out solutions. Step 2 is just as critical. You must ruthlessly curate your circle. You need to surround yourself with people who actually embody these success attitudes and actively distance yourself from the complainers, those everyday energy vampires. Attitude is highly contagious. Think of negative, toxic people like secondhand smoke. Even if you aren't the one holding the cigarette, and even if you have a great attitude yourself, simply lingering in a room full of smoke is going to damage your health. You have to protect your environment. And step 3 is practicing intentionality, specifically using what I like to call the 3-second pause. When an unexpected crisis hits at work or at home, your totally natural human instinct is to react emotionally, to vent or just panic. Think of your mind like a television remote control. When chaos strikes, you must deliberately hit the mental pause button for exactly 3 seconds. Breathe. In those 3 seconds, you reclaim your power and you intentionally choose a problem-solving attitude over emotional venting. Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, the catalyst question. Becoming a success magnet. We have honestly covered so much ground today, transitioning all the way from the high-level philosophy of the inside-out paradigm right down to actionable mental gym workouts. Now, it is time for you to integrate this into your actual everyday life. I want to leave you with this single, powerful thought to reflect on. Look honestly at your life right now and ask yourself, are your daily internal attitudes currently acting as a magnet for success, or are they subtly pushing it away? Take control of that 90%. You've been listening to Empower Fantastic Life Jaeger Empowerment Academy. See you next time. Bye-bye.